Yo, what's good with y'all? We back with another video. Last video we talked about the All-Star break, but then All-Star weekend end, and we're still on break actually, because basketball does not come back until Thursday. So up until Thursday, we're gonna be just talking about whatever. And I decided, you know what? Let's talk about Michael Porter Jr. because I forgot all about where he's been. And I remember he got hurt few months ago, a couple months ago, whatever, how many months it was, and we haven't seen him since. There's been a lot of concern about his injuries, and we're going to be talking about should the Denver Nuggets be concerned about the future of Michael Porter Jr. because, he's out for the rest of the season, most likely, and that's due to back problems. And the thing is, he just got a $207 million contract extension that he signed this past offseason. So this could end up being a major regret for the Denver Nuggets when it's all said and done if he can't stay on the floor. Now, am I saying that he's not worth it because of talent? No, because me personally, I think when Michael Porter Jr. is healthy, he's an elite rising star, an elite scorer, 6'10". To do what he does is pretty crazy. Not a lot of guys can do what he does, the way he does it, the smoothness in his game, his jump shot, just his ability to just put the ball in the basket. Not a lot of guys can do that. But the injuries have been a problem ever since even high school. And now it's carrying on to the NBA. Because remember back in college when he committed to Missouri and then he barely played, like literally played a handful of games, it felt like. Because he had back problems over there as well, which hindered him from being a top 3 pick like he was projected to be. Because at one point, before he went into his freshman year in college, he was the number 1 player in high school. He was the projected number 1 pick in that 2018 draft. He was a top 3 pick. It was him, it was Luka, it was Marvin Bagley, and then DeAndre, and they were all fighting for that number 1 pick. He was up there with those guys, but because of injury, and he ended up just sliding all the way down to the 14th pick. The Denver Nuggets picked him, and some people felt like it was a steal. Some people felt like it was a risk. I personally thought it was a steal because he has elite talent, and he is way higher than a 14th pick when it comes to talent. But I get why they took him there I get why teams passed him because of the injuries, and now you see why these teams passed him. And it sucks because he's one of my top 5 favorite young players. We saw what he could do down in the bubble. We saw what he could do before the bubble when he played in those little games before the league got shut down. Then we saw last season in a bigger sample size, especially when Jamal Murray went down with the ACL tear. He averaged 19 points per game last year. He was a most improved player candidate as well. And this guy, in my opinion, if he stays healthy, he can end up being a top 20-15 player in basketball when he's playing. Like, not of all time, obviously, but whoever's out there, I think he's a top 20-15 player if he can stay healthy in the near future. Or even higher with his skill set. But now, he can end up being one of the biggest what-if stories in the NBA. And it would absolutely destroy Denver, who committed to him long-term. Which after last year, it made sense, but the question is, how much is he really going to play out of that contract? If he comes back later this season along with Jamal Murray, then Denver has a shot to make a finals appearance because obviously Nikola Jokic is playing at an MVP level. And Michael Porter Jr. is a top 3 player on that team and can be a walking 20 points whenever he wants. So it would suck if he can never be that guy that he's supposed to be because of injuries. He would end up being on a long list of stars or potential stars that dealt with injuries like Derrick Rose, Brandon Roy, and Greg Oden, just to name some of the more popular examples of this happening in recent history. Now, do I believe Denver knew the risk of giving him such a big contract? Yeah, I would say so. But, they bet on the not the safer side, but they bet on the side that, when he's healthy, he's going to be a very elite player. And I get that because, free agents don't go to Denver like that. And free agents don't go play for the Nuggets. It doesn't matter if Jokic is there or when Carmelo Anthony was there. Not a lot of guys go to Denver. So they need to lock up some of the players that they draft. I get doing it, but let's see if this contract ages well in the next 4 or 5 years. like we're all hoping for, because not only can it affect Michael Porter and his career, but it can also affect Denver's potential title hopes in the near future also, because, you know, the team is still young, but time is going. Remember in the bubble, they were in the Western Conference Finals. They haven't been there since. It's only been a year, but, you know, it doesn't look like they're going to go back there this year, most likely. So it might be another 2 years after that Western Conference Finals appearance back in 2020 where they didn't do anything. And Nikola Jokic has been up these big numbers. You know, time goes quick. These teams break apart fast. So I get locking these guys up, but if Michael Porter Jr. can't stay healthy and be on the floor when needed, then it just really all falls apart. And next thing you know, the Denver Nuggets are a big what-if story too in the NBA, and Michael Porter becomes one also. Anyways, that's going to do it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Link will be down in the description below. This has been the Checkup, where we talk hoops and hoops only. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.